Because of the natural disasters, pandemics that has taken place around the world and things going wrong, many people are speculating that there will be the second coming within, I think they said by 2030 or in the year 2030, we're going to have the second coming of Christ at 2030. Now, that means that 8 years from now, Jesus is going to return 80 years from now. And they're basing that on famine, empty shelves, the Russian war with Ukraine, and obviously, disasters that are taking place around the world. And indeed, when you look at what's happening, especially in the last 2 to 3 years, it has been quite horrible. It's been quite horrible. It's been challenging, for many people around the world, no matter who you are, with the cost of living, inflation, and wars, rumors of wars. In diverse places. So naturally people are going to say that, well, this is a sign, that Christ is returning in 2030. However, this isn't unusual, because in Europe, when they had the Black Death, they were confident that God was going to return there and then. And there have been, I think, up to 1,000 predictions. Most powerful and notable ones are from JWs and Seventh-day Adventists. The Seventh-day Adventists believed that Christ would return in 1844, and they based it on biblical calculations and the atonement. So you have these Seventh-day Adventist scholars sitting down and they're saying, oh, I can work out when Christ is going to return. These, thinkers, these scholars. And then you have the JWs who said that Christ would return, I think it was 1911 or 1912. Both miserably failed. These are scholars, they claim they can read Hebrew and Greek. They can break down the Bible and this mathematical code. They failed miserably. And I will tell you why they failed. For the simple reason, we are told no one knows the hour. No one. Now, either these Seventh-day Adventists and JWs are calling Jesus a liar. Because why would you challenge what he said? He said, no one knows when the coming of the Son of Man shall be. Only the Father has it in his power and knows when the sign will be. But there are people still, especially and notably always cults, C-U-L-T-S, who always try to speculate that they know better than anyone else. And they sit there like the Grim Reaper, using dodgy calculations and thinking, oh, yes, we've got it right. This is how you do it. They sit there using dodgy mathematics and astrology, etc., thinking they can work it out. And in the end, when they fail, they have no shame. They use the calculations for something else. Oh, we got it wrong, but it must mean this. They don't really believe it, but they need to justify the existence of their organization, or their money sees up, their business folds. So they have to show face and pretend to their followers, that, we didn't get it wrong, but it means this. The Seventh-day Adventists, JWs, and thousands of different cults have tried. That's same technique of trying to undermine Christ when he says no one knows when he will return. No one. We know the signs. We know the signs, and the signs are around the world. There's no doubt about it. But it could be tomorrow. It could be 2 days' time. It could be 4 days. It could be 2 years. It could be 3 years. But certainly, to say that it's going to be 2030, it's impossible. Totally impossible. To say it's going to be 8 years' time. It's 8 years' time. And then what will they do? That they'll wait when they get that wrong. The millennium bug. They tried that with the millennium. Who's going to come back in the year 2000? And when nothing happened, many people lost their faith. This term, the 2000, and it's based on this Christmas carol. When 2,000 years of your time has gone by, this song will begin once again. And they based it on that. You'd be surprised of strange things that just ticks off in your brain, and it makes you believe that something is going to come back in the year 2000 purely because of that song sticking into your brain. And also Amazing Grace. I think when Amazing Grace says oh God, there's a song in Amazing Grace when it mentions 1,000 years, so that sticks in people's brains. So they thought that the year 2000 was going to be the return, and nothing happened. And a lot of people lost their faith. Many Christians went to Jerusalem, waiting, looking towards heaven in Jerusalem in the year 2000. They must have felt like prats when nothing happened. They must have felt stupid when nothing happened. The whole world thought, wow, the year 2000. I was watching TV, having a nice, lovely dinner. I knew it wasn't going to happen. No one knows, but people still try. This is what happens when you think to yourself, you know better. You know better than the Messiah himself. He says, nobody knows but the Father in heaven, but you know better. Nothing more than arrogance, nothing more than people's got big egos.